going to put together some of my images into an HDR image. To do that, I'll be in Photoshop, and within Photoshop you'll want to click on File, and then go down to Automate and Merge to HDR Pro. From there, select your images from the pictures that you took. It's best to try to have 2 or more pictures where you've changed the exposure, but you've also had a chance to try to keep the camera from moving. So use a tripod if possible. Click OK, and then you're going to click this Attempt to automatically align source images. That's usually on by default. May take just a short while to align things. So now that you're in this Merge to HDR Pro window, there's a couple things that I'd have you do. First of which is click from 16-bit to 32-bit. This is going to create an image that has a little bit better tone overall. I'm not as happy with when leaving it in 16-bit, working with the options that Photoshop has within there. The other thing I'm going to click is Remove Ghosts. Because I've taken some pictures where the clouds moved a little bit and definitely the water moved, this is going to make it where Photoshop is just going to choose which to keep. Now, so that way the waves will only be in one spot rather than looking like they're showing up in multiple spots. Then I'm going to click this Tone in ACR button. Put this together. We're working in Camera Raw to change basically how the photo looks. So you can start by just trying clicking the Auto button to see how Photoshop does at adjusting all the images together. You may be pretty pleased with the results with doing that. If you choose not to do that, you can go through each of the lines within Photoshop here and adjust contrast and highlights and shadows. I sometimes start by clicking the Auto button just to see how it's been able to affect things, and then I might go from there to adjust things. So usually I'll go with clarity, increase that just a little bit. I can even change this to zoom in a little bit and move around on the image. Holding the space bar allows you to move around in the image. That way you can tell, really how the details are looking. So increasing the clarity, maybe a little bit of texture. Dehaze can be nice too. Sometimes that can help to make the image look a little bit better too. So if you're seeing that things are being pushed a little bit too far, you can kind of tone them down a little bit. That looks pretty good to me. So after you're happy with how things look, click OK. And you're going to have a real nice HDR image. HDR is usually used just to create kind of the best of all the worlds. So you're combining images together that have different exposures to try to get the best highlights, shadows, and midtones in your picture.